Hit the go live. While I get some shit figured out. Cut the tip of my finger off. That was pretty cool. Big fan of that. Didn't need the tip of my finger anyway. Didn't need it. I got 9 more. Why don't I need the 10th? It's fine. It's all fine. Don't have a camera on because I just finished dinner. Fucked up. Missing limbs. Didn't have time to set up the camera. Didn't have time to do anything. Man, I just doing my best. Fine. Hi, Turin. Can't be this is Land Battles. No, it's MTK's turn. The better turn. The secret turn. Alright. Yeah, while we let people gather, because it's a short stream, there's 5 games. I'll do the spiel in a second, but letting some people gather so they get together. Yeah, I was cutting some cheese for fajitas tonight, and we have one of those cheese graters. My finger slips, I cut the tip of it off, and it hurts. It hurts a lot. My finger's all wrapped up in gauze and shit, and now I have to click on my mouse with my middle finger. And I am both flipping off God as I play video games, and much slower on the draw than usual. Because of course I cut the tip off my pointer finger, which is the most important finger. It's the one I use to point at things. When I go this one and that one, people in the street are like, "What are you pointing at? What are you talking about?" And I have to shout back at them, scream in their face to describe what I'm talking about, because I can't point anymore. And it hurts, and I'm sad. Okay. Enough fucking around. People have had time to gather, so let's just do the spiel, do the intro. We are currently hosting a world event. Now, it is not a world championship. I specifically chose the word event because it is an event that includes parts of the world. But it's not like a championship or anything because there weren't qualifiers. It was just some people I selected from different countries that I personally knew. And I said, hey, get you and 4 of your buddies together, make a team of 5, and let's do some shit. I'm not pretending in case someone's like, oh man, I'm from Russia. Where's the Russia team? I'm from Australia. Where's the Australia team? I'm from this place. Where's that team? This place and that place. It's fine. For now, this was just something that I thought would be fun. It would make good content. So we threw it together. And we are doing a dry run for a bigger, more official, more well put together tournament in the future. This is just a little bit of a sparring match for some national pride. The bottom of the bracket has already been completed up to the semifinals. We cast that Saturday and midday today. Spain with an upset over France and Italy with an upset over the EU Mercenaries. So far, 2 out of 4 of our quarterfinals were upsets from what I had predicted. We are at the very, very top tonight with West NA versus South America. I'll flip over to the Photoshop in just a second. But tomorrow, midday, we have East NA versus the UK. I have not watched any of the battles we are about to see ahead of time. If there are rule breaks, then they should have been brought up before now because the players submitted the replays to me without any issue. I do know which teams win because the semifinal is currently happening. People are playing the games and getting those ready to send back to me. But I don't know how the games went. I don't know what the end score is. I just know what team ends up winning. As for that bracket, why is the Photoshop not showing up? There it is. There it is, there it is. These are the games being played tonight. Now, I did instruct that all 5 games will be played, no matter if it is a 5-0, if it is a 4-1, it does not matter. All 5 games will be played. It would suck to be someone who agreed to play for this event, went through all the effort of picking and banning and showing up on time, and then you just don't get to play. That is lame. That is stupid. So we will play all 5 games tonight. Strat game versus Turin, MTK's Turin, not the Turin that is the big, famous, popular streamer man. Coops versus Anti-Kaiju, Cool Umbrella versus Ruben, Gojira versus Federico Chavez, and John FB versus Bonya Roja. The right-hand side is Team South America. The left-hand side is Team West NA. Sound good? If so, we can start casting ourselves some games. There will be a brief pause between games 2 and 3. The first 2 games were played on the previous patch 4.1.1, while 2 were played on patch 4.1.2. It takes me all of 3 minutes to switch between them. It will not be a big deal, but just so you know. Did your fajita taste like blood? No. God, I wish. All right. I have to do Strat Game and Coops' games. Those are on the old patch. So we'll start with Strat Game. All right. Strat Game versus MTK's Turin. Kislev versus Brettonia. A top of the table contest, though Brettonia is a little more top than Kislev. Kislev is certainly a very competitive and meta faction. For sure, for sure. Double Warbear Riders and Incarnate Elemental of Beasts with some Patriarch healing. Already looking a little spooky, though Brettonia's Grail Knights and Hippogriff Knights have always been up to the task of murdering some single entities. So let's see what we got. For Strat Game, the forces of Brettonia. We do have 2 Grail Knights, 2 Knights of the Realm. We saw them loading in. You have Alberic de Bordelot for his AoE anti-large and leadership aura. You also give Strider. I honestly didn't know that. Cool, good for you. Damsel of Life with just regrowth. 5 Peasant Archers and a front line of Spearmen and regular Men-at-Arms. On the other side, for Kislev, it is a very small and very straightforward build. We have 4 Armored Kossars, 2 Warbear Riders, one of which is the Oath Brothers. We have Mother Ostankia with Gulyaz and Flock of Doom. Patriarch with his own healing aura, I imagine. And then the Incarnate Elemental of Beasts. Also for Kislev in the flanks, we do have 3 Suicide Dervishes, Kossovite Dervishes. We saw them a lot in Spain versus France. Both times Kislev was taken, they relied heavily on Kossovite Dervishes, plus their Horse Archer variant, which is interesting. We'll see how these guys are used. Usually, we see them Suicide run in to take out a ranged unit using their Buyer Blood passive to become unbreakable and stay in the fight till they can finish it off and then die. But you know, we had 2 games today where they actually did do a lot of work and their players valued them as light cav, not just suicide pieces. Armored Kossars take a little charge from Knights of the Realm, though a Flock of Doom overcast and then the pistols firing back should do decent damage, but actually the pistols do not fire. It looks like they had attack orders and then just dropped them in effort to do bigger and better things. I don't know if Strat has noticed the Kossovite Dervishes or just isn't committing to chasing them off. He could, if he wanted to take the time, he could isolate those guys with all 4 of his cav and herd them backwards into the edge of the map. Though I suppose with the Kislevite cav, that's going to be hard to do. They do have Unbreakable, so it's not like they're going to route off the map like that. And it's probably not worth his time, because then he leaves his front line open to all the bears and stuff without any rebuttal. First Gulyaz is popped. It's actually heal up an Armored Kossar, which is interesting. I guess it's not on, like, a limit, it's just a cooldown. So if Mama O wants to get out as many of those as possible, might as well start using them. Another Overcasted Flock of Doom hits these Knights of the Realm and is actually doing pretty considerable damage over time. Kossovite Dervish is going to shoot into the Men-at-Arms, doing a little bit of damage here, just trying to get that free pistol value. But this game isn't about them. This game isn't even about the Men-at-Arms. It is entirely about the Cavalry versus the Bears. Grail Knights are now joining the fight for the first time, plowing into Armored Kossars, not doing that much damage for now, and Knights of the Realm still trying to damage. Meanwhile, these, the Bears are just free and clear. Brettonia wants nothing to do with them, apparently, and now Archers are at last going to shoot at them. Warbear Riders are pretty susceptible to Archer fire. Even though they have 100 armor, they are unshielded, no missile resist, and pretty big bodies, so a lot of the arrows are going to hit. More Flocks of Doom hitting these poor Knights of the Realm. I swear these Knights of the Realm have been killed entirely by Flock of Doom at this point. What's your value? 619. That's pretty good considering the Grail Knights haven't gotten involved. Kislev is still pushing up. Their front line is trading admirably with the peasants, though the peasant archers have had free reign to just shoot this whole time. Now, I do think that Strat didn't know these were behind him, because now all of a sudden he has multiple cavalry units going back to deal with them, which makes me think that they were not on his radar previously. Kislev's pushing through that front line. 1 Grail Knight stays behind to keep cycle charging, though they are going to take some friendly fire from peasants. You damn dirty peasants. Flock of Doom also harassing them down. Incarnate Elemental Beasts will get closer to the Peasant Bowman. His Mortis Engine starts. It does work out of melee combat. Mama O also gets a nasty charge with the Patriarch in tow. So all 3 of the Knights in the backfield dealing with these Dervishes. Now they reconsider, start to come back to the fold, but it might be too late as 1 Archer, 2 Archers are already routing. The other 2 are in a little bit of distress. And now the Dervishes can just do what they wanted to do initially and suicide dive for those Archers. Good stuff here from Kislev. The front line was kind of a wash, but so far the backline fight is going to Kislev. And the Knights have taken a good amount of damage. That Knight of the Realm is getting close to useless territory. And this Grail Knight's taking a lot of damage. The Dervishes are getting massacred, as we expected, but that's not really the unit we care about, is it? As the Grail Knight is getting counter-massacred and the Bears haven't taken any damage so far, Alberic is down in the thick of it, and different auras are coming down. Celiac's Lullaby, the passive heal from the Patriarch, keeping these guys very, very healthy. Another Overcasted Flock of Doom hits the Knights of the Realm and the other Grail Knights as they're in, but one Grail Knight is out. One Grail Knight is dead and dusted. The other one's still full HP. Two Knights of the Realm trying to fight back. They're also taking a lot of damage. Is that a Gulyaz? A third healing ability in for Kislev. Kislev is determined to show Brettonia who's the real boss of healing up cavalry, I guess, this game. Knights of the Realm still taking a lot of damage. This Grail Knight's still pretty healthy. A regrowth is hitting someone, but I'm curious who. It's the healthy Grail Knight, trying to keep them even more healthy. Bounce power is in the favor of Kislev. And I do tend to agree. It just looks like this bear and single entity blob, wherever it moves around the map, it destroys them. The lightning will tear out off the Peasant Bowman as a Flock of Doom hits them again. And so Mother Mistake is chucking up Flocks of Dooms like nobody's business. Does that should have a cooldown or what? And the bears haven't taken any damage so far. Slap me. They don't look like it. There we go. That Warbear Rider got messed up by Knights of the Realm and Grail Knights. It looks like they were just being overdone by healing with the Patriarch's double heals and then Momos Thank Yous, because these guys are now taking a bunch of damage. Ooh, Alberic, you don't want that fight! Okay, he's down. He's in it. I wonder if Strat's trying to use him to bait the bears to blob up on him so the Grail Knights can get a nice, juicy rear charge. It looks like they're not going to fall for that. Flock of Doom is pursuing them, keeping them a little bit in it. The Oath Brothers of Tor might have their lightning up again soon, which would help them a lot versus the Grail Knights. These very wounded Grail Knights recommit to the fight. They'll probably die in this charge. Yeah, they just shatter outright. And Alberic is safe elsewhere. Trying to go get the Incarnate Elemental of Beasts all alone. Without his support, without his healing, he is actually vulnerable. The bears aren't that far away. It's not like they can't come back. What is the... What? What is the charity called? Can you link it? The Morris Foundation? I'll check that in a second on his username. You might have to remind me after this game. Oath Brothers of Tor getting another Celiac's Lullaby. Obviously, so are their other Warbear compatriots. And here is the last attempt of Brettonia. They are diving in now to try and take out some of these Warbears. And if the lightning is here, they are doomed. They actually just back off immediately, trying to deal with that impact damage, and that's it. Doesn't look like the impact had much impact. Brettonian peasants trying to fight. It's not going great for them. Another regrowth is onto the Grail Knights. It is Overcast. The Overcast might just rout the Damsel of Life. And now Barrick does a desperate last stand, now surrounded by bears. The lightning is surely off cooldown, so as soon as those Grail Knights come back, they're going to get hit with lightning, and that'll lower their stats to such a point it won't matter. Another Flock of Doom. Just constant Flock of Dooms. And that is going to be the end of Brettonia. In a very, very strong performance from Kislev here. While I personally dislike fighting Kislev, I will say I am happy to see Brettonia humbled. And not another hyper late game of Hippogriff Knights and Grail Knights getting regrowthed and barely clutching it out through cycle charging. It is refreshing to see something stop them. It's a bitter refreshment because it's fucking Kislev doing it, but it's something. What up, Manuel? Alright, I'll do the charity thing in a second. Grail Knights really struggled to get their value back. Knights of the Realm did about as well, honestly. Alberic did okay. Archers did alright. And then the front line got kind of shellacked. Nice strat to send the replay of a loss. Yeah, like I said, we're casting all 5 games no matter what. I think I just took all 5 replays from one team. I think both teams sent them to me, but eh. Mama O, 3,000 value. The Incarnate Elemental Beast barely paying for itself, which is nice to see. Normally it does like 2 or 3 times its value, but the Bear Riders did pretty well. It was an all-around Kislev effort as the Armored Kossars also got good value. So, GG to that. Then I need Coops' game. I labeled them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because I didn't know what order I would need them, but I just saved them in the order I looked at them from that. So, okay, let's go to the Photoshop and then we'll do the charity thingy. Okay. So game 1 goes to South America. And then we'll find the thing. As I try to pull up the thingy in question with half a goddamn finger. Yeah. It's the Morris Animal Foundation is what you're asking about. So for the month of December, every subscriber we get on the channel, I will donate $1 to the Morris Animal Foundation. They do a bunch of research that helps various different animal species. It is detailed in this video that has a whopping 174 views, so that was a good idea by me. That definitely bore fruit. But yeah, so trying to help charity and grow the channel at the same time. It's going great. We're all happy. We're all happy that that's happening. But yes, if you are usually a lurker, this is a great month to subscribe. You'll be helping charity if you do so. And if you don't subscribe, then I guess you just hate all animals, which is fine. That's fine. I hate them too. Fuck them. Mr. J, chat is already answering you, but yes, chat is correct. Game 2, on patch 4.1.1, before we'll have to switch to 4.1.2, is Coops on the Dark Elves versus Anti-Kaiju's Grand Cathay. I don't know if we've seen Cathay yet in the Worlds event. I'm trying to think back to if Italy versus the EU Mercenaries had any Cathay. And Jan Bo's Cathay, too. Alright, for the side of Coops and the Dark Elves, triple Reaper Bolt Thrower, 2 Dark Shards, 4 Dread Spears, 2 Cold One Dread Knights, Malice Darkblade, a Fireball, and, wow, okay, a Fireball and Burning Headcaster, and then 2 Harpies, one of which is Crows of Cain, that takes some collateral damage from just being in front of the Bolt Thrower. My god. On the other side, for Cathay, we have 2 Crowmen, one of which is the Empress Crowman. We do have a Fire Rain Rocket, 2 Jade Warrior Crossbows with shields, 2 Iron Hail Gunners, triple Peasant Horsemen, Yan Bo, the Jade Dragon, who we're not used to seeing. He has the Emperor's Executioner, then Talons of Night, and Net of Amnitok. And then some Jade Warriors and some Peasant Long Spears. Onyx Crowmen using their Rock Drop / just diving into the Bolt Throwers to kill them off and give Cathay the ranged advantage that their box desires and make the Dark Elves come to them. The Dark Elves are committing pretty hard to kill off the Crowmen, and while that is a valuable unit to kill off, they're losing a lot for it as some of their melee troops are clumping up to get rid of these Crowmen. They're taking Fire Rain, Rocket Fire, and still losing the Bolt Throwers anyway. The Crows of Cain are about to rout. The Dread Spears are getting close too, though there is some serious Skaven-friendly fire going on from the likes of Cathay, and they're going to lose a bunch of Peasant Horsemen too, so this has just been a wild start for both sides. As 2 Onyx Crowmen and 2 Peasant Horsemen are completely massacred, and on the other side, 2 Reaper Bolt Throwers, a Dark Shard, and the Crows of Cain are massacred. Peasant Horsemen doing their best Kislev impression as they try to dive on through Bolt Throwers, and again, the Fire Rain Rocket shoots them. This Fire Rain Rocket is only aiming for Peasant Horsemen. The Peasant Horsemen are just holding up flares and, like, just shoot at the flares. Wherever the flares are, fire there. Yeah. Crowmen are a balanced unit that I'm not salty about existing. Yeah, fuck Crowmen. All of Cathay's mobility has taken significant damage, but they did achieve their goals. The Reaper Bolt Throwers are mostly offline, and if they're not offline, they're so injured that the Fire Rain Rocket can outduel them and force the Dark Elves to come over here. 12 HP left on that Reaper Bolt Thrower. They do just shatter. The other Bolt Throwers trying to get back online, though the Empress Crowman might have something to say about it. They're actually just going after Dark Shards straight up. They will kill those guys. What? You don't like a flying unit having 35-32 for melee stats with 45 weapon strength? 45 weapon strength is honestly the most fucked up part about them. That is insane weapon strength. Crows of Cain have that much, but they're a regiment of renown that costs like 300 more. The last of the bolt throwers is down. One of the dark shards is also pretty much offline. And the dark elves are a severely depleted force that is moving up. On the other side, Fort Cathay, their firing rocket is about out of ammunition, and their mobility is entirely toast. Speaking of which, the dark shard that was full health when I looked away to check on the ammo of the firing rocket, like, fucking died. So that's cool. Dodged most of that volley, but still. Wow. I wish Skaven artillery was that accurate. Go, firing rocket, go, I guess. The Dark Elves are in retreat yet again. Cold and Dread Knight's trying to move up, but the firing rocket seems to have no reload time as it just continually fires. Over and over and over again. I suppose it's being Harmony buffed up, which gives it reload speed, right? Yeah, reload skill plus 24. It is finally out of ammunition, but it also killed a Cold One Dread Knight, and that fire rain rocket has 2,900 damage value. 2,900 damage value on a firing rocket. Ow. A burning head goes right in front of the Iron Hail Gunners, just barely off target, and will now curve into the Peasant Longspearmen for a little bit. But unfortunately, a whiffed spell. Dark Rider is moving in, Cold One Dread Knight's moving in. And Malice is going to have one heck of a carry performance, as that fireball half-health the fire and rocket crew. Yenbo, the Jade Dragon, awaits. And I wonder if he could be a secret Malice Darkblade Destroyer tech, because if you get Malice low enough that he's trying to get all of that healing for Zarkan, if you use the Executioner ability on him then, you just kill him before he transforms, that would be kind of sick. You wish my Hellstorms? Dude, the Empire doesn't need better Hellstorms. You have the Sunmaker, which makes up for all of it, but I do wish other artillery types were half as good as the Firing Rocket or the Sunmaker. Or the Grand Cathay Cannons. Grand Cathay Cannons are incredible. If only Vampire Coast and Empire Cannons were even close to that good. This is a GG, right? I wouldn't underestimate the power of Malice. Dark Elf Cold One Dread Knights coming in onto unbraced Peasant Longspearmen, taking half HP off of them on the charge, and will rout them pretty soon. Malice is in the fight. Iron Hail Gunners are trying to shoot at him, but they have some Dread Spears stopping them, and another Burning Head going through some of the Peasant Long Spears, trying to rout them off. And the backline of Cathay's leadership is not looking too good, though they are barely hanging on. And Peasant Long Spears can do a lot of damage to our big Cold One friends. Sorcerers of Fire currently bogged down in Jade Warriors. Malice is trying to snipe out Yenbo. A tough task. He's a foot character, which Malice has never excelled at, but he's also a decent melee combatant and can turn to a flying dragon if he really wants to. Talons of Night is cast. It's trying not to do friendly fire, but it is going to do a little bit of friendly fire to Cathay. There's a lot of routing going on. The Crows of Cain are still trying to regenerate up, and Malice is what? He's going to get netted. Okay. He's netted, though the Iron Hails are trying to turn towards him. There's so much shit in the way. Like, their own Peasant Horseman is honestly also going to fuck with him. And Cathay's leadership's not holding up, you guys. They're running into a bit of trouble. The Cold and Dread Knights, as long as they don't get completely bogged down in spears and killed off, like if they can get out of here and back in and back out and back in and back out, that kind of thing, they can maybe be okay. Another Burning Head through the middle of the area, trying to get that burnt leadership debuff onto some of these units, get them routing maybe. Dark Shards are under attack by the Jade Warriors, and the Firecaster is going to run away. Peasant Horseman trying to fight. For now, Harmony's keeping him in it. Even nerfed, it's still a decent little buff. Yeah, there's too many Peasant Long Spears here. It's going to be about if Malice can kill Yenbo. Same missile strength last I checked. Grand Cathay cannons just hit way more often. They hit way more often than Empire cannons do, unfortunately. Vampire Coast cannons, we can all agree suck. The Empire cannons are better than the Coast cannons. Still not great in my opinion, but the Coast cannons are objectively terrible. I have lost many games counting on them to hit anything at all. Alright, Yembo still under attack by Malice, who has popped his buffs yet again. Iron Hail Gunners on the outskirts firing in the Cold One Dread Knights, and the Dark Elves are just running out of anybody to help Malice. While he's a spooky force, literally alone, it could be a problem for him. Nice burning head down the line of these clumped up spearmen will kill them off. Well, that's a decent target. It could be tempting to go for the ranged units, and I could see why you'd want to do that, but actually, like, spears could be a bigger problem for Malice in the late game. Because Malice could charge over here right now. Oh, it gets the Iron Hail Gunners, too. Anyway. Yambo turns into his dragon form just to get away from Malice for a bit. Malice cannot fly. But depending on how many burning heads the caster has, and if Malice avoids getting executed, they could do it. Ow, those Iron Hails are really hurting him, though. And a big shot from Yembo onto the Sorceress of Fire. Malice rear charges him, trying to get that damage out. I don't know if Yembo has access to his execution when he's in his dragon form. I just don't know that. Malice transforms now to avoid army losses or routing, and then he immediately pops Bloodstorm and Reaper of Souls, draining down these Jade Warriors and Yembo, who's taking a lot of damage. The Cold One Dread Knights are hanging in there and still fighting, and Cathay's leadership is wavering. If Yembo actually gets sniped out by Malice, this could be a turnaround. And of course, it would be very nice if the Fire Sorceress got out of all these Jade Warriors, but Horse Mass is not very high, and oh boy, Game 3 Infantry have high mass. Game 3 Infantry and Dwarves. Precipitous Nyx. My opinion of the Grand Cathay Cannons is entirely from experience. Grand Cathay Cannons murder fools, and then I play Vampire Coast and Empire, and they miss every single shot. Alright, Malice is waiting for Yembo to land somewhere near him. The Fire Sorceress is back, but Yembo walking straight towards her does make her rout almost immediately. When he transforms, I cast the sword, so I don't have it. Oh, you cast the Executioner ability? Yeah, okay, sorry. So when you're in your dragon form, which you are right now, you can't do your executes. You would have to come down to the ground to do it. Gotcha. The Mouse isn't having the best time versus all these dudes. He does have to charge ranged units and just rout them off. And then whenever he has his Bloodstorm ability, the essentially Soul Stealer, then he should charge into a melee infantry, pop it, and then go back to fighting ranged for a while. That'd probably be the best way to try and get Mouse to solo carry this. Cold One Dread Knights fought literally to the end, but have now shattered. And the Firecaster is back for the final time. Yunbo giving up on chasing her as he comes back to his forces. Malice pops Reaper of Souls, hurting those Peasant Long Spears, healing himself back up. He has shattered an Iron Hail Gunner. A different Iron Hail Gunner is routing, and those are the big threats to Malice from the range. Jade Warrior crossbows are annoying, but not game-changing. The infantry's getting pretty low, except for these 3 Jade Warriors here, and 2 of them are clumped up enough that maybe one final overcasted Burning Head could be a desperate last attempt to get rid of them. And then, I mean, if the overcast kills her, it kills her, but she's so low on health that if Yumbo goes near her, she'll just shatter. So, might as well chuck out one Hail Mary Burning Head. Malice kills off more Iron Hail Gunners. There is a Burning Head, but it is undercast, and it's on Peasant Long Spears, but they dodge it pretty much. And they're just fine there. Fireball heading for Yanbo, but he goes from the ground to flying to try and dodge. It still hits him, it just does 0 damage. Oh, anti-kaiju, I see. So you already cast your Malice insta-kill when he was Malice, and now he's to Zarkan. Okay, well that makes us a little more concerned that you don't just have your win the game button as soon as you turn to a human. Okay. Play at times 2 speed from this point if we're not waiting on Yambo to turn back into a human and snap his fingers to kill this guy. There goes the Firecaster, probably going to shatter momentarily. She did get one last Burning Head out, but it missed the Jade Warrior crossbows entirely, and it does shatter off a Peasant Long Spear. Malice continues to try and solo carry. He's running through some stuff. His heal cap is very much within sight, and the Jade Warriors are just standing off to the side, letting him fight them one by one by one. And even a net is cast onto him. The heal cap is here, and Malice probably has to just dive Yambo before his cooldown Become a Dragon comes back up. But it looks like he's not going to take that option, as he's just fighting Jade Warriors. Now he's stuck in the Jade Warriors. There's just too many of them. His mass can't get out, so he's trapped. I'm kind of surprised he didn't run up and deal with Yambo, but at this point, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Dark Elf player was just kind of done with the game at that point and ran out the clock. I don't know if he was like full tactical. The most efficient thing to do right now is this, when he's just like, fucking Fire and Rocket got 2,900 value. Fucking Iron Hail's killing all my shit. Ended up being a close game. A good scrap back from the Dark Elves nonetheless after a horrifying start. But Cathay be spooky. Cathay be very spooky indeed. Bolt Throwers did not get any value whatsoever. Cold and Dread Knights did their best. They honestly did alright. But it was GG. So then that is number 2. And then I will exit this game. Throw you guys over to the Photoshop real quick while I update Warhammer back to its live form. Betas, none. Download. Go. Okay, let's update that Photoshop, 2-0 start for South America. Will West NA pull the reverse sweep? Is it going to be a 5-0? Somewhere in between. Let us see. I think this Cathay army was less OP than I've ever seen. Less OP? That shit looked pretty strong to me. Anyway. Cathay's out. The patch to get back to the live version of the game is 57% complete. You casting this in the order that... In that order, the games were played. I was going to cast it in the order of the Photoshop. But... John FB... If you're thinking of going to bed, I can cast your game first. I can cast your games first. It's okay, John. I can do that for you, buddy. Will the final stream for the series be played live? I was currently not planning on it because it is much easier for lag and for scheduling if I don't. But we can see when we get there. The big thing is if like the finals is like of the people in the semifinals on the other side of the world, if it's Italy versus West NA for the finals, dude, that time zone's going to be a fucking nightmare, so I'll just keep with what I've been doing and let the players schedule as they are able to meet their opponents. But if it's like West NA versus East NA, which is impossible, but let's just say it is, then that's a little easier to do, where it's like, oh, fuck it, guys, let's just get together on a Saturday and pump this shit out. So we could. It depends a little bit on what the players want to do and a little bit on how the time zones shake out. All right, we're going to cast John FB versus Bonya Roja because John wanted it to be so. He demanded it. We're back on the live patch, so the rest of these replays will work. And that is John versus Bonya. Though that also says it's not on the right version of the game, though sometimes it just says that, so I don't know. No, it's all good, John? Well, John, we're going to do it, John. We're going to do it because you complained. Because you're a whiner, man. And that's why. John, check your messages, sir. All right. In message. You know what? You know what, John? I don't believe in a thing called privacy. I'm just going to read your message live on stream. I said, hey, John, I am sorry for implying that you were whining during the stream. That was inappropriate and my bad. John FB. Hey, fuck you. You're a dumb piece of shit. Don't even cast my game. Don't even bother. I quit the event. Eat my ass. Human Boy. Well, that's a shame. I was going to give you $30,000 right now, but I guess not. And John FB. Too bad. I stole all your money anyway. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha. What a jerk, dude. What a fucking jerk. Lizardmen are winning as Dark Elves. It's true. Alright. Skaven versus Vampire Counts. I actually have a build recently that is doing pretty well in Vampire Counts. It is not this build, but Skaven might have a shot. And two hot takes. One hot take everybody knows about is I think Skaven are C tier, and that is divisive in the community. My other hot take is I think Vampire Counts are also C tier, and I'm like the only one who thinks so. But I was talking to a Vampire Count main today after we played a set, and he was bemoaning the state of Vampire Counts. We just had a little bit of a Vampire Counts or C tier circle jerk, so that was nice. So everybody else could think that Vampire Counts are strong, but I don't. I think they suck. Alright, for the Skaven build, we do have a very tight box formation, which while that stops dogs and stuff from getting in here, it also means a lot of your stuff can get disrupted at the same time. We do have Ikit Zap Zap, 2 Rattling Gun teams, one of which is Teeth Breakers, 1 Poison Wind Globe, 2 Gutter Runners, the 360 throwing guys. These are not the poison variant. We have 1 Warp Block Giselle, triple Rat Ogre, and then a bunch of Clan Rats with spears and Clan Rats with swords. Ikit Claw and his little Doom Flare with Flensing Ruin and Howling Warp Gale. Nice, nice. Is this the day of noob boxes? That's Cathay, my friend. If Cathay ain't boxing, they ain't winning. Skaven are a little more hit or miss, but they also tend to box quite often. On the other side, for the voices of Bonya Roja, if I remember correctly who this was, you have zombies, the Tithe, more zombies, a bunch of skeleton spears. We do have 2 Crypt Ghouls, Feasters in the Dusk and the Crypt Ghouls stalking around. We have 1 Corpse Cart with an Unholy Lodestone, 4 Crypt Horrors, Manfred von Karstein on his Hellsteed with Fate of Buna and Spirit Leech, a White King on foot with Scab Scrath. No, he's not on foot. He's just really slowed down by those Rattling Guns. Ooey owie. And then 2 Fellbats. Who the fuck bounces against Vampire Counts? I also tend to go wider. But... shit happens. White King gets a little bit of healing. Trying to back off as the Teeth Breakers continue to poke at him as he rides away, though he is taking not a lot of damage as most of those fucking shots miss. Ah, yes. Rattling Guns in their natural habitat firing over the heads of the infantry. God damn it, Rattling Guns, I hate you so much. They look cool, but they are missing a lot. Alright. Rattling Guns firing into the Skeleton Spearman and the Tide. Still doing good damage, though. I wonder how much that was Brass Orb and Poison Wind Globes. Now the Rattling Guns are much more in their friendly habitat, shooting at air units. And with Gutter Runner support, they already almost kill the Fellbats on approach. And Teethbreaker's probably going to want to switch onto the Crypt Horrors. Now, Crypt Horrors can path pretty much straight through Clan Rats on the charge. They kind of get blunted there. I worry if they stand and fight for too long, they will get killed by the weapons team. Second unit of Fellbats is moving in to get a little bit of damage out. And I'm surprised Manfred hasn't used the Fate of Buna yet on any of the weapons teams. As Fellbats try and shut down Ikit Zap Zap, though Ikit Zap Zap might be resetting his cooldowns. I'm not entirely sure. Flensing Ruin down onto the Necromancer and his Crypt Horror companions. Taking a lot of damage. Skaven up quite a lot of balance of power as they turn and fire backwards onto the Fellbats. Charge up on death near them. Chaos War Shrines are good against summons, probably, but I don't know of a lot of faction that brings summons versus Chaos factions. Anyway, Feasters in the Dusk are here with some Crypt Horrors. Rat Ogre's already routing. The front line has fallen apart for the Skaven, so now it's about whether or not they can stay in this game. A lot of stuff is starting to break for them, and Crypt Horrors have their own natural regeneration that they're healing up. They don't necessarily need a Corpse Cart with an Unholy Lodestone or an Invocation Attack to heal them. Still no Fate of Buna from the side of the Vampire Counts, and I am a little concerned about that. Fate of Buna is incredible versus weapons teams. You can just kill them outright. But Ikit Zap Zap continues to poke away at Manfred. And Brass Orb hits these zombies. They're kind of okay with that. Crypt Horror still trying to plow through, and oh no! Fate of Buna onto Ikit Zap Zap will do like 0 damage. That is an unfortunate misplay from the Vampire Counts, as it just does, it does nothing. Rip. A Big winds of magic usage by Manfred. Now he's getting hit with his own Flensing Ruin, so that might kill him and the White King off. Might just secure the game for the Skaven. Rattling guns firing at the Crypt Horrors. They're a little bit taller, so the Rattling guns can actually hit them in combination with both of these Gutter Runners. That is an awful lot of fire coming in on the Crypt Horrors. Brettonia trolling. Yeah, Manfred is still getting poked down by that Flensing Ruin. Still 1/3 of its time left to go. It'll probably get him low enough that he'll crumble himself to death. Probably being a keyword there. Rattling guns and Gutter Runners and Warp Block Jezzails safe on the back line. And while the Skaven front line is falling apart, I just don't think the Counts have enough left really in the tank to keep them going. Invocation to Heck does save Manfred from the crumbling. Keeps him a little more topped off. But we need some zombie summons. We need dogs or something to be in this backline, because the Skaven shouldn't be allowed to rally outside their box. They kind of like, how you have to win matchups versus Skaven is route stuff, and then route it all the way off the map, and then come back and pick off what's ever left. Unfortunately, with this, like, you know, route, then keep fighting other things that haven't routed yet style, they just, as you can see, come back and pretty much are at full damage potential. 29, 28... and 21 out of 32 models for these weapons teams, so they're still doing really, really good damage. Rattling guns still firing in onto the Crypt Horrors. Manfred gets Howling Warp Guild, even though he's on the ground, just to keep him in place. And the Jezzails are still poking him down a bit. Army losses is coming in soon. That'll be the death of the Counts and West NA on the board. How's the event going? Good. Why does Buna not do much damage to artillery units? Fate of Buna does more damage the more models you have, up to a certain point. Artillery units have 4 models. It doesn't treat the whole crew, it just acts like you're attacking the artillery models, so you're only attacking 4. Yeah. Buna would do more damage if your crew was dismounted, but even then it's probably not worth your time. Flensing Ruin will kill off Manfred. Without Manfred, army losses will surely hit. And we'll get moving on as the last Crypt Horror dies to Rattling Guns and Gutter Runners. And the White King plus the Corpse Cart. Just chill. Still salty you don't have a Midwest group? That's fine. I'll accept it, because I'm also part of the Midwest group that I so excluded. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Alright. Skaven get a win on the board, along with West NA. Globes, not a lot of value, but a lot of kills. Rattling Guns, one just barely paid for itself after firing all game. The other one got 400 more value than it's worth. So that's cool. Warp Lightning Cannon, 2,500 value from shooting at Manfred all game. Gutter Runners did pretty well. Rat Ogres did not get a lot of value, but they were good blockers. And then Clan Rats held for as long as their little bodies could. Brettonia Roja, Manfred only getting 700 value is pretty rough. White King did well. Crypt Horrors did well. Necromancer got sniped out by Ikit Claw. And the front line struggled. GG. GG. So then that was John FB. Back to the Photoshop. We hop down here just to satisfy... Wait. Just to satisfy John's curiosity. Now we'll go back up to the order we're supposed to be in. And find Umbrella versus Ruben. Umbrella versus Ruben. That is a small High Elf army. Oh my god. Okay, Nurgle versus High Elves. Is it a High Elf box? High Elf box. High Elf box. Let's see. The Nurgle build is also kind of interesting. Alright, there's no boxes this time. For the side of Nurgle and cool Umbrella, and the hope of West NA. Gojira and Umbrella both have to win if West NA is going to pull it out. We have Nurglings, we have Marauders of Nurgle, we have the Demon Spew Forsaken Regiment of Renown, and more Marauders of Nurgle. So a pretty wide but shitty front line. 2 Chaos Knights of Nurgle, 2 Plague Drones of Nurgle, and a Demon Prince of Nurgle with Fate of Buna is where most of their money went. On the other side, we have the Omen of Assyrian for Ruben, Eltharion the Grim with Arcane Unforging and Apotheosis, plus his Mistwalker's Barrage. We do have the Everqueen's Courtguard plus the Talons of Tor-Kaleda, and then Silveren Guard and the Puremain Company. So a very elite but small front line versus a very cheap but wide front line. How will Silveren Guard get through Nurglings? Slowly but surely. Eltharion is kicking the shit out of some Plague Drones right now. I think he's getting support from the Everqueen's Courtguard while I looked at chat, but still he is doing very, very well against those guys. The Omen of Assyrian is also doing nicely. It's taking some damage, but has Apotheosis healing from Eltharion if they need it. Fleshy Abundance is cast by the Demon Prince. He has Fleshy Abundance and Fate of Buna. I didn't realize he had a hybrid lore. Arcane Unforging plus the Everqueen's Courtguard poking him down a little bit. But the Chaos Knights are here, and the High Elves have no mobility presence whatsoever. They can't contest this. So we have Silveren Guard trying to get in the way, but Marauders just saturating the area. The Everqueen's Courtguard have 4760 for melee stats, so they'll be okay. But as long as they're not firing, all of a sudden the air fight turned against Eltharion. It was going really well at first, but then his charge bonus wore off, and the archer support faded away, and now he's getting ground down. That Fleshy Abundance really helped the Plague Drone stay in this fight. He apotheoses himself to try and stay in it. High Elves are fighting on all sides. But Nurgle's being patient, as Nurgle does, trying to get his cavalry around to a good flank. Now they are in it, he needs orders, and he does give them. Demon Prince is standing off for now, doesn't want to get caught by those archers. Plague Drones also get a Tier 2 Nurgle army ability of Fecundity, really putting all the healing into them and focusing Eltharion down, while the Omen of Assyrian also takes similar damage. That is funny. How poorly this went at first for the Plague Drones, and then they just started grinding it out. Finally, the Demonic Instability will take the Plague Drones of Nurgle, and then the Demon Spew should be routing here any moment. But Chaos Knights are trying to catch Eltharion napping. And what is that? That's the Omen of Assyrian's Vortex, but it looks like it mostly hit friendly troops. That was just a crazy Vortex. I'm not even sure what was underneath it to take the damage. Chaos Knights are all up in that goodness, doing lots of damage. Now, the Demon Spew will probably rout in a second here, but we have 2 very healthy Chaos Knights and the Demon Prince diving in onto Eltharion, the Omen of Assyrian. I very strongly doubt those 2 are getting out of here alive. The High Elf Infantry is holding for now. There's just so few of them. There's so many Nurgle troops. They just can't defend anything. The Everqueen's Courtguard have taken a lot of damage, so have the Talons of Tor-Kaleda. Eltharion is still taking a lot of damage. I bet he's just trying to spam out Apotheosis when he has them, but it looks like he doesn't have the Winds of Magic. He did cast an Arcane Unforging, and that is a crazy expensive spell, which is why you don't see it very often. But Fang Sword of Eltharion giving him really good magical attacks. Also, physical resistance is good against the Chaos Knights of Nurgle. Not against the Demon Prince, but whatever. And the Apotheosis healing him up. He's trading back pretty well onto the Demon Prince. The Everqueen's Courtguard are still trying to lend some aid. But the High Elf troops are more kitted defensively than offensively, so they're not cutting through the Nurgle area. They're not going to come help anytime soon. They're just going to hold. So Eltharion is unfortunately alone in this venture. He did good damage to those 1 Chaos Knights of Nurgle, but there's this other one that's still healthy and happy. There's still the Plague Drones, and there's still, of course, the Demon Prince, who's just going to Fleshy Abundance himself, undoing all of the damage Eltharion did. There's probably another Tier 2 Fecundity up soon for Nurgle. And this is looking like a very one-sided victory as the Demon Prince slaps the shit out of Eltharion to try and put him on ice. Deprive the High Elves of their caster and their leader. Bounce power is going further into Nurgle's favor. The Demon Prince has missed a few shots as Eltharion gives as good as he gets. Nice Vortex attack. We'll do some good damage to those Marauders, but it really doesn't do very much to the Chaos Knights, interestingly enough. Is it like AP? It's 50% AP, but wow. Eltharion, 1,300 value. He's doing okay, but not great, unfortunately, for his cost. I think, isn't he a 2,400, Lord? I think he is. Your name was shortened the other day. I felt so stupid. That's fine, John. That's fine. John was not happy with our cast. He's very upset, as per usual. We have fun here. We have fun. We kid and we joke and we jibe. Anyway, Altharian is finally routing and the Plague Drones are being committed to chasing him off, so he will not be coming back. Chaos Knights are still running around, routing the Everqueen's Court Guard. Army losses is hitting for the High Elves, and that was a very, very good Nurgle performance from a faction that I commonly hate on. So Skaven and Nurgle getting the wins for West NA. The below half tiers rise up. Rise up, the underdogs. Well played to Ruben, and I do love seeing Altharian. He's probably my favorite High Elf Lord thematically, besides Tyrion. It's between Tyrion and Altharian. I like Altharian's voice lines. They're just really funny. Altharian is overpriced. On horse and on foot, he's actually really, really well costed, but on his flying mount, he's very overpriced, yes. So, I did say this would be a quick stream. We are almost 1 hour into it. We are entering the final game. And it is for all the marbles. This is it. Last game, Greenskins versus the Warriors of Chaos. And oh my dear God, it is a blob. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, let's do this. So, Cool Umbrella takes a W. It's down to Federico Chavez and Gojira. Gojira, occasional streamer of the poggiest of games. Versus Federico Chavez, someone I literally didn't know existed before this event. Our paths hadn't crossed, and if they had, then I forgot, so rip. But, not excited to see a blob. Always excited to see players I'm not used to seeing.
Let's go.
Oh my God, it's a terrible blob. I hate it. I hate it. I have a build versus Warriors of Chaos that actually deals with their blobs really well. It unironically has a Rogue Idol in Grimgor. Grimgor will paste Festus, and the Rogue Idol can clean up any number of Chaos Warriors, whether they have halberds or not. Or is Hero Hammer not allowed? You can have 4 single entities, so I think it depends on your definition of Hero Hammer. For Gojira and the Greenskins, we do have a bunch of Skirmish Cav, 3 of them in fact. Mortars, Magi Marauders with their armor-piercing missiles, and then 2 Spider Riders. We have 2 regular melee Spider Riders besides that. 2 Orc Boarboy Biggins with 2 more on the other side. 4 Squig Herds, 4 Goblins, the Crimson Killas, and Azhag up on Skullmuncha with Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna. On the other side for the Warriors of Chaos, it is a very tightly knit blob. We have the Severed Claw Aspiring Champion Arawar, 4 Chaos Warriors with Halberds, 2 Marauder Horse Masters for a little bit of range, and then 2 Chaos Giants, a War Shrine of Nurgle, and Festus the Leech Lord, with Rants of Visitations and Stream of Corruption. First Spirit Leech is out onto Festus. He does have a rather small HP pool overall, all things considered, so it is worthwhile to tax him. Even if he's going to heal it back up, might as well get him to that heal cap and get him routing. Looks like Gojira's going to take it slow. So far, Skirmish is going better for the Greenskins, as the 2 Marauder Horse Masters have taken pretty good damage considering how early in the game we are. And I wouldn't hate for all 3 of these Greenskin Skirmish Cav to turn around and try and go into melee with the Horse Masters and drive them back. For now, Chaos seems rather content to take the skirmish fight. I think this favors the Greenskins at the moment, because they're just buying time for more Spirit Leeches onto Festus, and for more time for their range to do work. Spider Riders do overcommit for a little bit of a dive, and then they fall back from these halberds. I'm sure Gojira wants the spinning loons. He probably wants the 8-peak loons. Also, Boarboy Biggins, I don't know. I had a big salty rant about them in the NC chat. It's the clan that I'm a part of. Goji's not an NC, right? He just hangs around a lot. Yeah. Anyway. I had a big old rant in the NC Discord when I lost the game of Greenskins today, and I'm like, man, Orc Boarboy Biggins fucking suck. Without Wurzag's OPS global buffs, these units are just so underwhelming. 22 melee attack! Come on! And then they have 12 bonus versus large. So if they get to fight Cav, they have an impressive 34 melee attack. I don't know. It's not great. Anyway, Azhag's continuing to Spirit Leech every so often, I believe. Marauder Horsemaster's still taking damage, and Greenskin's setting up the surround. They're now starting to send in some goblins with squigs. There's another Spirit Leech from Azhag. Azhag should probably do a quick flyby and cast his Azhag's Ard Armor. I've recently been cutting this from Azhag because I think it's 200 gold. And while it's a decent buff, it has 2-minute cooldown, and it's just not... I don't know. I feel like it's always on cooldown, and I just can't ever get enough uses out of it to justify it. Yeah. You're honorary NC? Okay. By the power vested in me, I ban you from ever trying to join our clan, because I don't like you. You're a meanie and a bully. You said naughty things to me and I don't like it. Orc Biggins or Savage Orc Biggins got cheaper, correct? Yeah, I've been using Savage Orc Biggins a lot. They're pretty good. Orc Biggins I honestly haven't played with at all. Chaos Warrior Halberd's taking a lot of damage on the charge. Even with the healing elixirs, the Skirmish Cav Fire plus the Squigs are just doing so much damage to them. And an Overcasted Rance Visitation does a little bit of overcast damage to Festus, and it is really going to hurt Azhag. And Azhag has as large of a health pool as Festus does. I know that's hard to believe, but Festus has 6,000 HP. Azhag has 7,000 on his Wyvern. Azhag's Wyvern mount does need an update pretty badly. One of the Chaos Warriors of Halberds is just about routing. It looks like there it goes, but the Crimson Killers are sacrificed to the great cause as two giants go wild on them, just smushing these elite black orcs beneath their fists. And that's an ouchie. Marauder Horsemaster still taking a lot of damage. Here comes a big charge from the Orc Boar Boy Biggins. They do very, very little on the impact. And there's a big old surround coming in, but Azhag is one Overcasted Rance of Visitations away from dying. He pops Azhag's Art Armor now to try and help out the Orc Boar Boar Biggins, but he probably has to fall back here. He's got to cast 1 or 2 more Spirit Leeches, then just get far enough away from Festus that he can't get hit with another Rancid Visitation until he's needed in the late game or something. Healing Elixirs is still going for the whole awful blob of the Warriors of Chaos. And I'll go on record as saying the Chaos War Shrine of Nurgle and Festus the Liege Lord were not well thought out when designing the Warriors of Chaos roster. Or the Nurgle roster. But the Nurgle roster doesn't have nearly as good of Chaos Warriors to hold. First Wah is popped, trying to get those extra melee stats. The Marauder Horsemasters are also both close to routing. Justice for Skull Muncher. Yeah. I don't know if the Greenskins are going to be able to get through all these Chaos Warriors, though, man. And the Severed Claw. They just don't have good enough infantry. The Crimson Killers are the best infantry they have in this build, and they have 50 melee attack with 8 bonus versus infantry. That's not a lot compared to these Chaos Warriors Halberds for 950 gold. They have 42 melee defense. Yee. Skirmish Cav probably need to move back up into range and get some more shots out. Azhag has been taking damage from something. I think Marauder Horsemaster's throwing up at him, but that means 1 more Overcast Rancid Visitations and that dude is straight up dead. Yeah, it's Marauder Horsemaster's doing so much damage to him. He has 70 armor, no shield, and only 25% missile resistance. Feels like the Mortis Engine aura should be turned on now. Why? It's not hurting him any. He's just healing up all of his halberds and shit. There's the aura. Aura of Pestilence is flipped over. Morgan Mage Marauders and the Orc Boar Biggins taking a lot of damage. Pestilent Poison's lowering their melee attack to literally 0. And that is going to be that. Marauder Horsemaster's using the last their ammunition on Azhag, who does dive down onto them. But now he's just at the health point where he can't ever come back near Festus again, or he'll just get rancided to death. Army losses is approaching. Chaos War Shrine of Nurgle is fully charged up, so it gives everybody 0.1% healing around. And it's looking like a GG. I don't see how the Greenskins can do it from this point. All they have is Trash Boy Biggins. And that is that. You unironically need the Rogue Idol. It's so fucking strong. Orc Boar Biggins really struggling to get any value here whatsoever. Now, to be fair to them, the only large targets that they could fight were the Giants, who were always swamped in halberds. But still, I think without Wurzag, any boar cav at all has been struggling for me without Wurzeg. There's not going to be a lot of value to be found here. On the other side, Festus got 1,900 value. 1,200 for the Severed Claw. Both Giants did fine. I mean, they were full health at the end of the game. Chaos Warriors with Halberds did just fine. And the Martyr Horsemen and Horse Masters both paid for themselves with gusto. Don't think outside the box. Yeah. So, tomorrow midday, we will cast Great Britain, the UK, versus East NA. And let's check for potential boxes. High Elf Kite versus a box. Okay, there's one box. There's no box there. Maybe. I mean, they could deploy in a box possibly, but they have 4 fucking Outriders grenade launchers, so they're not going to be able to stay in it. So, there's that. That is not nearly enough troops to be a box, and it's going to get broken by Minos pretty quickly. What's down here? Skaven don't have enough infantry to box with this. Versus Brett. Okay. So out of 5 games, there might be 1 box. Alright. Let's go. Also, if you care about other fun events, so we'll be casting that tomorrow. On the 14th, I will be casting the Warhammer Olympics. The Warhammer Olympics are a series of categories of tasks that you have to complete. What the hell is this? Oh, speed. Okay. Like, how quickly can you kill 10 clan rats and a warlord with 3 units? Or how quickly can you kill Sigvald with only a lord and 2 units? Or how quickly can you kill Count Noctilus up at his Necrofex with a lord and 2 units? And then I have a bunch of people in my Discord trying all sorts of different strategies. So, this should be good. For the Gojira game, yeah, I've lost versus Lizardmen with greenskins a lot. I used to take, on the last patch, I used to take pretty much 1 build for everything. Yeah, I used to take Wurzag with this. These 2 guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was last patch. Yeah, something like that. Into like literally everybody. And then Wurzag got nerfed, but I used to also lose to Lizardman a lot with this build. So, that's not going well for me. So I understand losing to blobs as greenskins, because if you go wide, you can just get fucked up. But my Warriors of Chaos build that I really, really like is greenskins. I take Foe Seeker to keep his vigor up so that he doesn't rout, and then Stand Your Ground to give him leadership so he doesn't rout when I need it. Because if Archaon charges, then he can take a lot of damage. But anyway. Alright, so that, Rogue Idol, 3 Spinning Loons. The 2 Skirmish Cav RORs are just like always good in every single matchup, so I'll take them. I take 3 Goblin Archers just to annoy enemy Skirmish Cav or to poke in on a box. It's fine. Savage Orc Biggins can still do well here, but let's leave them for the end. If I have enough money, I'll take them. So now we're looking a bit thin. We'll take 3 Goblins, 3 Squigs. Whoops, accidentally closed that because my finger is chopped off. 2,200 left. What do I even need? So you deal with Chaos Warriors / Sigvald. You deal with Archaon / Sigvald as well, and Festus. I need a caster. That's it. Because Chaos Knights are a real problem for me since I don't believe in Orc Boar with Biggins. But the problem with Orc Boar with Biggins is, like, if there are Chaos Knights, they'll have a good time. But if there aren't Chaos Knights, then there's literally nothing for them to do. So I'll take Fate of Yuna in case he has Knights, because you're only going to get, like, 1 Fate of Yuna chance before the Knights fuck off. So River Troll Hag with Fate of Yuna and Spirit Leech can protect you against Chaos Knights, and then you don't have to bother bringing Orc Boar with Biggins, because as you saw with Gojira's build, it's like, you just didn't have anything for them to do. It wasn't like, wow, Goji played like shit with those Orc Boar with Biggins. It was like, what the fuck are they going to do? Charge 4 halberds? Yeah, that's going to work out well. And they got murdered. Okay. Then what do we have? 900 gold? I don't know. point. Could just take 2 more goblins and a squig. Seems fine. Seems like a lot of infantry, but you get the point. The core of the build is this. This is fine. If you're really feeling feisty, you could grab some wolf riders to chase off stuff after it routes, get another squig because of their armor piercing, then upgrade a chevron a goblin, you have a 0 gold spend. That's something that can work. Another thing you could do if you think you're going too wide on random cheap shit, because the reason, here's the defense of random cheap shit. You have a fucking rogue idol, a river troll hag, and Grimgore. They're gonna kill anything that's elite. So all you need is the amount of bodies to keep them safe and to chase off whatever they route, because they can't chase it, they're gonna probably be fighting something else. So there's indefensive cheap shit. But if you really think you have too much cheap shit, you could get rid of that extra stuff and then upgrade your archers with the money. And then Savage Orc archers have a little bit better missile strength, but they also have physical resistance and frenzy. So if dogs or something get in the back line, they can just go into melee and fight it. And then you could get the Moon Howlers, because they cause fear. Or you could get a Spider Rider for some poison for a little bit of support. And then Chevron a Goblin, you have a 0 gold spend. Those are probably the 2 angles I'd go with it. A thing you could do is spend your money, the 970 we had at the end on the Hammer of Gork, and then upgrade a Goblin to an Orc Boy. Umbrella likes that. He's another greenskin player, though we look at greenskins very differently. The Hammer of Gork is one of those units on paper that looks good, and I just can never get it to fucking do anything. It's got good missile strength, it's got good accuracy, it's got a good debuff if you hit something, but I find most games it just like gets 200 value. I didn't notice it doing anything, and it gets army lost with the rest of my army. So, you think that could be 2 giants with supports? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Grimgore bodies giants. Grimgore bodies giants. For sure. The Rogue Idol can also deal with giants okay. The giants trade up into the Rogue Idol, but with Grimgore supporting him, it'll be okay. Because it's what you're thinking about is Grimgore and a Rogue Idol versus 2 giants. Because you'll also have support. Like, if they have halberds, you have 3 spinning loons. Just punish them with that. Or Fate of Being to them. Doom Divers feel good here. I think you're probably right. I tried two Doom Divers. No. I tried 1 Doom Diver right after the patch when I saw Doom Divers got buffed. But he took 2 Hell Cannons, and the Hell Cannons just blew up my Doom Divers, and then I was forced to rush him. I think I won the game anyway because 2 Hell Cannons made his army really thin, but still. I tried Doom Divers and I got cucked. Your Rust and Crust prevented your ascendance? True. Oh, wait, yeah. I was doing the like, streams over, I'm just going to bullshit for a bit, but we do actually have something to do. We need to advance the winner. So South America prevails, going to the semifinals. And we will see who will fight South America tomorrow at 1 p.m. my time. East NA versus the UK. We'll see our last semifinalist. Should be a pretty good time. Hope to see you all there. But I will stop wasting your time now. We had a nice, crisp 1 hour, 10-minute stream, and we can leave it at that. What about the Greenskin Moon spell debuff? I have tried that in the past. It's too unreliable, and the spell itself doesn't do any damage. Looks good on paper, though. GG.